Hey you guys, what's up? Good morning. It's morning over here. Um, I'm just out here smoking a cigarette. I'm open for smoke readings if you guys are interested. But I just had a few epiphanies just happen, and it's just been interesting. From last night, before I went to bed like around like 11 o'clock till like this morning, and last night I before I went to bed, I ended up getting an audiobook and just kind of like listening to Britney Spears and her book, and I had it on audio and I just like played it until like I fell asleep just to, I need a good book. I need a good book to kind of um take my mind off of things sometimes. And let me tell you, her life has just been so, like, I just feel really bad for her. I've always seen her as the victim of a lot of things. Um and she had admitted that she did have an abortion, which I knew she had an abortion. I was like, I don't have proof, but I think she had one. Um she she had an abortion, I think, while she was still with Justin Timberlake. And they both clearly were not ready. They both were very young. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess this is gonna be some relationship advice. If I know you guys are so eager to hear about, you know, BTS, who's V gonna get with, who's sugar, and you guys keep shipping people with people they have no business being with. Okay, that's number one. You ship people with other people they have no business being with. There are people who will doctor or fake pictures and things like that just to kind of prove a point on the internet. Um, there was a time in my life where I really wanted to be a journalist. There is no more journalism. It's now just business. Who gets it out there? Who gets paid quicker? And I was just listening to Britney Spears and her life and how her family utterly just destroyed her. I feel bad for her. Some people are like, well, she did it to herself. I hate to think that way because she did um, grow up in the limelight. And obviously, when you're a kid, you don't make that decision. Your parents make that decision for you, right? Um, but her story just kind of, it triggered me. It triggered me like the hell because especially her relationship with Justin, because it just reminded me of why I didn't date in high school. And I went to a Catholic school, and I had an amazing friend from high school, and she lives in Arizona now, but she had a really shitty relationship. And I was there with her. She confided in me. She had gotten pregnant. She had to, have an abortion. These are touchy subjects, and she really didn't want to. Same thing with Britney. She really did not want to let go of her baby. She always wanted to be a mother. Um, but I don't know, you guys. Whenever I do these readings, especially for BTS Future Spouse, I try to give a realistic view, because when you are in a relationship with someone, like for example like Jungkook or V or Sugar, it doesn't matter, G-Mint, whoever. You are, there's a level here again of, the reality is you're going to live your life, or this person who they will choose will live their life under the lens, and that comes with its own problems, because there is no privacy. There is no, every outburst is going to probably be public. Every situation is probably going to be public. Everyone will know your dirty laundry. And it's, I don't know how you can live like that. There are some things, for me personally, if I'm in a relationship, there are some things that I will keep private. There are a lot of things I will keep private. There are things that if I have a disagreement with my partner, I will have to work it out, but I don't want my mother's opinion. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, that's stupid. That's stupid. But you have, when you get involved with someone like from BTS or from Blackpink, these are people who, whatever they do, people are going to needle you. Need some people, if they get with people, and I hope they do, I hope they find love, I hope they find joy, I hope they find peace with someone, but those kinds of relationships will get needled down. Like, it will be painful in many ways. People want to think, oh, they're not going to have time for each other because they're always going to be busy, and that's not the only reason. When you live your life under the lens, you are risking that everything you say, you do, you see, taste, and touch is going to be under the public eye. And that's just their reality. The reality of being with someone like Jungkook, the reality of being with someone like Suga, the reality of being with someone like Jennie. It doesn't matter. You risk it. You risk it, and you risk having people blow it out of proportion. It could be like just something small, like, I don't want to go into this restaurant, and then all of a sudden you get into a mini little argument. No, but we already made reservations, and then it explodes, and then people will spot in, like, you know how they are. You know how the press is. They will spiral things out of proportion. And that's just like a little example. And how we handle, how these people, I don't know how they fucking handle it, because how ARMY does it, they are just so quick to flip a switch instantly. It's almost bipolar. It's almost schizophrenic. I don't know, like, it's just, to me, it's just the level of obsession, the level of, it needs to be, you need to be this way, and then the timeline of them meeting is this way, and that's too much. I don't go way into timelines because it's too much. If I want to give them personally a level of freedom to choose, to decide for themselves, to think for themselves. I don't know if any of them watch my videos, but it just, it's one of those things where I want to give them that capability to make that decision for themselves. Like, they can watch my videos, great, that's fine, but I don't want them to think this is the order of operation, because ultimately the order of operation is the universe. That's just me. And I just listened to the whole Britney Spears thing, and the decisions that she had to make, were expensive lessons, just expensive lessons. And she she's still she's still fucked up about it. Of course. She's a great artist. I won't take that away from her. She's a great artist, a good dancer, pop star. But she's they did a number on her mentally. And the fact that she couldn't see her kids, she couldn't it like, I feel that. Like, I feel the pain that she has endured, but I'm not gonna be an advocate like, oh, you better defend her and da 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 da. It's more of like, it's more of empathy and just, I'm sorry that her life was that way. And for a lot of these people, K-pop, doesn't matter, whoever, I get that they're good artists, I get that they're famous, I get that people can see them and they have access, like, you have access to their lives. But, in some level, they lose a part of their soul because of that. They don't get to be private because of that. And I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know, but I don't know, it's just one of those things that I just realized. I mean, I kind of already realized it, but it's like today was like the eye opener. Like, it opened my eyes. And there is a level of empathy. Fame is not everything. Fame will always have a price to pay. It has a price to pay in your relationships, a price to pay in your lifestyle, a price to pay to where you go, where you eat, where you sleep, where you might have everything in the world, but sometimes everything in the world is not what you need. Sometimes what you need is just someone you can talk to, someone who you can relate to. A lot of these people get into like drugs and alcohol. I mean, Matthew Perry just passed away. All he ever wanted was to be a famous actor. And he got that. He just didn't know how to handle it. It's an industry that can be very, very dark, and it can be very, very spiraling. And if you don't have guts, if you don't have like a good center within you, you can spiral. It can be very chaotic. Their lives can be very chaotic. And so, yeah, I think that's all I really had to say. It's a little bit of relationship advice, and it's like a reality. It's a reality that some of you guys don't really understand, because even me, like, I'm not like famous like that, like when you're living your life, under the lens, under the camera, under flashes, all people see is, it could just be you walking around. You feel like you're being stalked. That comes with its own problems. That's PTSD. It's not fun. It's not fun. You always have to feel up in arms. You always have to feel like you're, you always have to feel defensive, and that goes into relationships. I'm just not going to stand by and tell you that these people are going to have lovely rainbows and butterflies kinds of relationships, because there's a level here of, you need to understand the life they live. And as an empath, like, I feel that energy, the life that they live. They're gonna be out late. They're going to be working late. They're going to be at parties. They're going to meet other women, other people, other friends. It doesn't matter. Those temptations are there. How can their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, how can they actually like understand that? Sharon Osbourne, the wife of Ozzy Osbourne, she knew she was gonna marry a rock star. She was in love with Ozzy. Ozzy was in love with her. But she said something to him. This was early 2000s. She said, I knew exactly who I was marrying. I knew that there would be like women around him. I knew that there were going to be, you know, hoes all over the place, right? He's like, I don't care what he does as long as he comes home to me. That's what she said. I don't know if I could deal with that personally, like myself, but she knew enough about that rock star lifestyle that she said, I know the temptations will always be there. He's a rock star. As long as he comes home to me, I'm fine with it. Now, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I could actually deal with that, but she's handled it. I mean, they're still married. And they've handled it, she's handled it. She learned how to compromise. She learned how to compromise, and she learned how to handle it, and she knew exactly. Same thing with Beyonce. She knew exactly who she was marrying. I don't know if you saw my Beyonce video. She knew exactly who she was marrying, and she married for legacy. Didn't exactly have to marry for love, but she married for legacy. But these are women. People think, these are strong women, and it's. They have their own problems too. They have their own hurts too. They have their own realization of, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to go through this? It's one of those things. But Brittany, I'm sorry, honey. Like, I don't know if she'll ever watch this, but like, just listening to that book, I always knew that Justin Timberlake, he always rubbed me the wrong way. Like, he just always rubbed me the wrong way. I love NSYNC. I was more of a Backstreet Boys kind of person, but like, I loved NSYNC, but he just, I don't know why all the fans were like so into him. I'm just like, he rubs me the wrong way. And everyone has their own agenda. Everyone wants to flip the switch and make, point fingers. This kind of industry is big on blaming people, blaming others, blaming, oh, she did this and he did that, and it's never the fault of someone, or no one ever takes the blame. Everyone wants to look like the bigger person, but that's just not. Welcome to the world of fame and fortune. It comes with its own price. And I want you guys to really kind of understand that. It's not for the faint of heart. A lot of good people who are famous have withered away. A lot of people who are famous, their parents take advantage of them. Their wives take advantage, husbands take advantage. Like, the people do. It's really ridiculous. So just letting you guys know, it takes a lot of humility. I remember there was a recent interview with Cardi B, and they asked about her relationship with Offset, her husband, and she said, we were going through our thing. There was a time, I think probably around 2017, 18, where they were spiraling. Their marriage was spiraling. He was always out cheating. She was always home alone with the kids. Like, it was that level. And she said we almost filed for divorce. Like, we almost did that, but we worked it out. It was, she said, I had to put a lot of my pride aside, and I had to really humble myself. It's so amazing how someone like her can actually realize that to keep the relationship together, to keep the marriage together, to keep the family together, she had to really humble herself. And the same thing with Offset. He said the same thing. He's like, I was in a different place. I was in a different place. I didn't have any morals. I didn't wake up, but now I'm just like, I love every minute I am with her, because it takes both sides, you know. So that's what I have, you guys. A little relationship advice. It's cold out here. I'm freezing. But I just want you guys to know that you guys are my favorites, and thank you so much for letting me do this video. I don't know why I'm doing it, but it's out here now. Peace out. Love and light.